Welcome to the B-Scar TV podcast, the home of high-quality conversation. And we're back with another episode of B-Scar TV, and I have a very, very special guest today, my man Payton Pritchard, aka P Rich, PP, Pay, P Rabbit. Welcome to the show, man.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming on, man. We're in this beautiful backyard in Portland, or I guess in West Linn, Oregon. We're both born and raised. How's the time been back here at home?
I love coming back. I mean, this is, like you said, it's home. Especially in the summertime, it's nice, but I don't know. I always like going back to where my roots are. So
I feel that I've always spent all my off seasons here in Portland, and like late spring, summertime, you can't beat it.
No, it's probably one of the best places in the United States, honestly.
The Pacific Northwest, man. People give us a bad rap at times, or they hate, but they never been here in the summertime.
Exactly.
I'm gonna just lay the groundwork for the listeners out there.
Okay.
I'm gonna lay some groundwork because I'm talking to a Oregon high school sports legend. First off, 4 high school state championships, went to Oregon, Bob Cousy Point Guard of the Year, Pac-12 Player of the Year your senior season, all Pac-12 first team, broke all type of records at Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Your resume is crazy, man. And you're playing with the Celtics. You've done a lot, bro, coming out of West Linn, Oregon. And maybe we can just start. And how have you done it, man? What's allowed you to see all this success that you have of your storied career?
Man, I always just go back to the work. I mean, the hours I put in at a young age. I really think I just thanks to the people around me, my dad and them, but I sacrificed a lot that, didn't live a normal life necessarily. For me, I'm in middle school, beginning of high school, kids is hanging out and stuff. I'm working out 6 to 7 hours at the time. But at the time, that was my passion. People probably thought I was a little crazy in high school. People looked at me different, but I knew what I wanted at a young age. I think I was just fortunate to know, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And so I just attacked it.
It
was paid off, but journey ain't done yet.
No doubt. It's never over, man.
No.
And keep pushing. In high school, you said your lifestyle was a little bit different. And even maybe middle school, too. Can you touch on, specifically, what was the process?
I mean, we did some different things. Eighth grade, I homeschooled. And I didn't even really do school there, so I'm not telling people to do that, but
you homeschooled?
My dad homeschooled me, my mom and dad, and I just really just trained. I was traveling for basketball, but getting ready for high school. Different people thought I was crazy for that, but
yeah.
I don't know, I just think what normal high schoolers were doing, I didn't do all the time. And did I have the times where I hung out with my friends and had a small clique, but I wasn't really going to parties necessarily or doing that kind of stuff. I was really locked in, and I'm not saying everybody got to do that same path, but I think those are the small sacrifices I made.
Yeah.
To better myself. So
yeah. No, man, I've heard some of the stories over the years and how you were locked in 8th grade and high school, being in the garage and doing the dribbling drills. Obviously, you and my brother are the same age, or maybe are 1 year apart.
1 year, yeah.
1 year
He's
apart.
1 grade older.
Yeah. So I've heard all the stories about you, and obviously been able to watch you play. So the level of commitment is just different. And we were talking about this earlier. In order to be a professional and perform at a high level, it does take that level of commitment. And I mean, you were in a place where you were showing that at an early age.
Mm-hmm. I think that's just what it was. I just showed it at a younger age than most.
Yeah.
And just committed to it. I had a love for it, and I stopped playing other sports early after freshman year and just locked in. So.
You feel like you could have made it in football?
I don't know. I honestly, though, if you ask my dad, he thinks I could have probably made it in football or baseball. Yeah. I just think I had a knack of just a competitiveness to me that I would have figured it out and like made it in any sport, because I was just, I think naturally, I don't want to say I was the greatest athlete ever, but like I had the ability to like any sport to like fit in and play and make a difference.
Right. You one of those dudes that's just good at everything.
Yeah, but I'm just like mad competitive.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to lose anything. So I don't know. Sometimes I look back though and wish I would have played all sports, at least through high school.
Yeah.
Like I regret like not playing football. Now did it probably help training during those times? I'm sure, but you know I missed that fact. Like playing on Friday nights.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah, I feel that. Your pops played in college, right?
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah.
What position did he play?
Tight end.
Oh damn.
Yeah. In the golden era of Oklahoma when they was winning championships.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Boomer Sooner.
Yeah.
That's cracking. I bet he saw some.
Oh yeah, he got
I imagine he said, "Oh yeah, you playing quarterback, son."
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah,
bro.
And my mom was a gymnast too at Oklahoma, so I was fortunate with that too. They just D1 athletes. They knew what it took.
Yeah.
So they kind of laid the groundwork for me.
Yeah.
Like instilled it without like just forcing me to do it. They like naturally just showed me like the path of like the work it takes, you know, putting me into different things, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. No, that's dope. My pops ran track in college at BYU, and then he trained for the Olympic trials, ran in the Canadian Olympic trials in '96. So, you know, I had some of that same upbringing. You know, as soon as I could crawl, I was crawling, you know, out the blocks on the track.
Yeah.
You know, sprinting, running, that's something that my brother, myself, my sister, that's just, it was bred in us.
Yeah.
And we came up seeing that. So I feel like when you have parents that were athletic and then, you know, just in lifestyle, just kind of pass that along.
Sure,
it
helps.
Definitely gives a leg up.
100% helps. 100%.
Yeah. I got a funny story, speaking of my brother. So, CYO basketball. This is back probably, Cameron was probably, I don't know, fourth, fifth, sixth grade, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I was third, he was fourth.
He played in Holy Redeemer.
Yeah.
And my brother was the best basketball player I had ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, at his age.
Yeah.
Right? He was fast. He was just more athletic than all the kids out there. And then Xavier was playing on the team too, and X was more like skilled, basketball skilled than Cameron.
And he was really good too at that age.
They were both good. And they were the best duo I'd ever seen, bro. And I remember pulling up to this gym. I would always go to his games with the family, and we watching, and we're playing this red team. And I see this little small point guard, buzz cut, goggles on.
Yeah.
And like, didn't think nothing of him. Tip off happens. Had it on a string.
Yeah.
And I remember after the game, I think y'all ended up winning because obviously that kid in the goggles was you.
Yeah.
Y'all ended up winning that game. And I was like, oh, this kid cut.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I bet you do.
Yeah. My dad, he told me getting ready for the game. He like, they got 2 kids. It's pretty good. He used to do that all the time. Tell me like people. I'm like, bet. I remember going over there thinking I got some competition today.
Yeah.
I remember Cam was a freak athlete. I mean, he still is, but he was definitely more freaky than I was as an athlete.
No, for sure. But there was a difference in skill level, though. I mean, you had a different type of skill level, bro.
That's funny.
And it was crazy because then after that, I think the next time I saw you play was when you were playing with X with Fast. And so I was like, oh, okay, y'all, I remember this is the same kid from back in the day with the goggles. Okay, see him now. And then, boom, West Lynn. You know, I had long graduated high school. I was in college, and West Lynn is winning back-to-back. Oh, that's the kid. That's Payton from Fast. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He kept popping up, bro, and it's been fun to watch and just see your career grow because I remember that moment in that gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. It's a long journey.
It's been a long journey, bro, and congratulations on all your success.
Appreciate that.
You say you got more to go. Obviously, you do. You feel like you got an underdog mentality?
Definitely. Like every step I went, people try to like cap me out.
Yeah.
When I went to high school, people would be like, oh, is he going to be tall enough to make it D1? You know, is he really going to kill in high school like that? Like, he not the most athletic. well, I'm like athletic, but I'm not superior to anybody. But like, so people try to cap me out. Then I'll go D1. People want to say, oh, will he ever start? You know, will he ever be able to be that guy? And so I just think, you know, people always try to put limits, but
Yeah.
I really don't see a ceiling for myself. You know, like the way I work and the way I envision myself, I don't see a ceiling. And I'm not saying I'm necessarily going to be Michael Jordan the greatest, but like I just don't know what my potential really is. I'm going to keep grinding every day to see it. So I think, yeah, it motivates me. I used to have a little burn book. Every time somebody would say something, I write it down.
Burn book?
Yeah, for sure.
What? Talk
like,
to me, bro.
Yeah, like, I mean, just, my friends know it. Some of my friends have seen it before, but, you know, you hear, you know, when you're going through high school, college, you hear little things that people around you saying, parents are saying. I just write it all down. Shit motivating.
You go back and look at it?
A little bit. But, I mean, I got stuff to this day. Like, I mean, I got so many stories of different things, but it's just, I guess to answer your question is definitely.
Yeah.
I have a lot to prove still.
I feel that.
I feel like as much as I've done, I still haven't done what I really want.
I think that's the interesting part about the mentality that you have is because you have such a storied career, right? It's like you actually have been at the top, but you still have this mentality like I got more to prove, you know, and I got to show people. You know, and watching The Last Dance and thinking about how Michael Jordan like would create these scenarios in his mind in order to like push himself. You know, and I hear like you got a burn book. Yeah. You know, not to compare you to Jordan, but like that mindset though is like, you know, is what it takes.
It is. I mean, and me being in the pros, noticing like, you know, other elite pros mentality is, I think, what like really separates the great ones. Honestly, like their approach to the game every day and like how they are ready to go out there and like compete and go at it. Yeah. I think that's the difference.
Yeah. Times have changed in the NBA, and you don't look like most point guards in the league. And I wonder, you know, being one of the few white point guards in the league, I wonder if that's a reason why maybe you catch some shit at times. Like, you know, people judge a certain way of being a minority of the, you know, at your position. There's not, you know, any white DBs in the NFL these days, right? And I'm cool with Christian. Christian McCaffrey's one of my good friends, and I always remember this one post that he had in college. It was actually after we had played a game at Cal, and he posted something. It was a picture of him, like, you know, running away from another one of my homies because I played at Cal, and he was running for the touchdown, and the caption was something like, "I'm eating in waters and I'm not supposed to be swimming in."
That's kind of fire.
It was like Christian is a dog.
Yeah.
But that little thing was like, and nobody would doubt that he's a dog. But in his mind, I'm sure he's heard those chirps, right? Yeah. That like, you know, he's not fast enough or not athletic enough or this and that, because people do judge by what they see, right? 100%. You don't see many white running backs. And so he got that same mindset, you know what I mean? He still got something to prove.
For sure. I think you kind of have to have it. Like you said, we are like, there's not many of us. And like people gonna have stereotypes already set, like capping us out, like we can't do certain things. But ultimately, I just don't care what they have to say. Like, no doubt. I'm gonna go show him, and I'm sure he probably has the same mindset. And look at where he's at now. Like you said, people probably said he's not the fastest, but I mean, who is he? Like, who's better than him right now? You know,
right?
Like, yeah. So I guess ultimately it just takes time for people to really see it. Yeah. It just takes like you have to show people more. Make them believe it.
No doubt. Training camp starts pretty soon, right?
October 1st.
Okay.
So we got a little time.
Got a little time. But you're training at like basically peak level training right now.
Yeah. I really don't take a time off.
Really?
I want to always stay in incredible shape. My mindset is like, I don't think I'll ever get hurt if I like stay in peak shape all the time. Now I take like a week break, sure, but I'm like making sure I'm eating right, I'm doing all the little things. But for me, I'm like, once the off season hits, it's like another time like I can make a jump now. Yeah. Because when in the season you're working, but like you're almost like maintaining, you know, like you really can't work on your craft all the time because you're playing and
right.
stuff. So, and we've been going to the finals and our off seasons are shorter. So I'm like, okay, I got to get to it because I want to keep growing to keep every year make this jump to becoming what I want to be.
Because that's really where you can make the separation.
For sure. Because you really, I mean, I'm on like 3 a day. So
you're on 3 days.
Yeah.
What's your week look like, bro?
I'm like, I'm not going as early as you, but like 7:30 to 8 is when I'm starting in the weight room. I'm probably lifting for like an hour. Then I'm on the court for probably about hour and a half, 2 hours. Have people come in and like guard and do stuff like that. And then I'll chill. Then I'll probably go back in at like 12 or 1, finish up around 3. Then that's probably done for the day. Then certain days I'm doing body work, massage therapy, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's those 3.
How you programming your weight room stuff? You got some people helping you?
Yeah, I got a trainer that comes everywhere with me. So I just, you know, because I'm always on the road, traveling all the time. So, and I feel like when you're doing that, you can lose sight of like your workouts because you're getting in late, you know, all this. So for me, like hiring somebody full time just to like come with me everywhere was really important for me because I don't really like lifting like that. I know
You're a hooper, bro.
Yeah,
hoopers don't like lifting.
I don't really like lifting. I know it's beneficial, so I need to do it and I'll get it in. But like having somebody there to like always be there pushing, like making sure I'm getting it in. You know, when I'm tired the next morning or whatever, like okay, we still gotta. So I think I've really seen a difference this summer though, because I've been consistent with it 5 to 6 days a week.
No doubt. I mean, because hoopers don't like to lift, I feel like that's an area where you probably can separate.
You can.
You know,
it is a real thing. Stronger. People do not like to lift in the league.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's funny, but people don't like lifting.
Yeah, I've realized that just being around guys. And you say you hired your guy.
Yeah.
Were you working with him in Oregon or just for your pro career?
No, so he was actually, I've known him for a while, but he was working with other pros here in Portland.
Okay.
Mike James, Andrew Andrews, like different dudes.
Yeah, some legends.
And I'd already had a relationship with him, but from afar, I used to like, I admired the way he worked and the fact that he never had an ego and he was always growing. He's a little bit younger, but.
Oh, he's younger than you?
No, not younger than me, but like he's not like an older trainer.
Got you. Okay, yeah.
And so I liked it. He was hungry and like
fresh in the game.
Yeah, and he came under like some other good people that like I trusted, but I admired that he didn't have an ego and like always growing.
Yeah.
And so I like to surround myself with like people like that because, you know, I don't think there's one way to necessarily train. Yeah. And there's not one way to lift or all that.
Yeah, no, and that's the type of people you want around your circles, people that have the positive mindset, growth mindset. You know, they trying to grow themselves. I think like that's the type of people you want in a circle because that type of outlook
you surround yourself with is like how you
think about the world and think about yourself, no doubt, bro. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of experience with football guys, but you're actually our first NBA player on the podcast, so we could cheers to that, man.
Yeah, yes, sir.
This is our high quality contents here. We got a little sparkling limeade from Trader Joe's. But yeah, so I'm curious at how NBA guys get down and the off season and like your program and how you're training. That's interesting that you have. Do most guys have someone that's hired full time? Like is he weight room?
Weight rooms, yeah. I mean he'll help out with like he doesn't put me through anything, but he'll help rebound and if I need him to like come out and guard and bump a little bit, he can do that.
Yeah.
Because he played overseas basketball and stuff like that, so he understands it. But for the most part, I don't think I necessarily need a basketball trainer.
Really?
Yeah. Like I listen to certain people and people will give me things, but I feel like I know what I need to work on, and I'll hear like what teams are saying and stuff. I don't know. And then I go to LA and I work with certain trainers, and they just get different things. But I don't have a dude that I'm like with 100% of the time.
Some guys do that, right?
Some do, yeah.
Oh, that's not as common as Instagram
I don't think
portrays.
Because I don't think it's hard for a player to be around a trainer all the time nowadays, anyways. So, but certain guys do, but dudes are expensive too these days.
Really?
Yeah.
The good ones, I bet.
Yeah. But at the same time, I just feel like I'm not dissing trainers at all, but there's certain ones I really like, basketball trainers. But
Yeah.
like once you reach a certain level, the NBA, like we
What
know
they
what
gonna
it
tell
is.
you.
Like I get my
Yeah.
like even I've heard Kobe talk about different things, and he would take things from people. But like for the most part, he's getting his shots up. He knows what shots he wants to get better at.
Mhm.
He's getting his ball handling in, his passing in, and then it's just the repetition of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah. No, I feel that.
And like I have the ability to like watch film on certain guys, and I think this is a skill of mine. Is like being able to see it and like also I can go do
You
it
can go do it.
and like mimic it,
Mm-hmm.
and from any type of player. Like it doesn't
Right.
matter if they're a center or a small forward or point guard. Like there's certain things about their game I really like, then I'll like add that in, and I can envision it when I'm working on it.
As you've grown your game, what players have
Yeah,
inspired it? Who you molding your game
there's
after?
been a bunch of players. I mean, you know, obviously being in Portland, Dame, Steph, Kyrie, and them. But my college coach too used to say like how I got better at my footwork, especially going in my senior year, my pull-ups and everything. But it was really one guy I like watched a lot, and I don't play anything like him. But like Kawhi Leonard, how he keeps everything so simple. He gets to his spots, and we totally different. But like that's the point I was trying to make. Like we're different, but there's things you could take from every player.
Yeah.
And his footwork on different things, and like how he bumps people and like just raises. Like it's real simple, but it's efficient. And so I took that, and I became more efficient with my game, with my handle and being able to dribble. I just used it in a better way now.
Right. The repetition piece is something that I can definitely connect with.
Yeah.
Like for me, being an outside linebacker, throwing pass rush moves and like working it on a bag as much as you can, right? Whether it's a cross chop or it's like a stab. But the bag for us, you know, it doesn't ever give you the same what an offensive tackle will give you. But it's hard also to get those rushes, especially like live, because you know, you don't always have the pads on. So you really don't get that until, you know, you actually start training camp. So it's tough to get it in the off season. But like for hoops, would you say it's the same? Like the difference in getting a repetition and just like shooting around and training versus like actually playing in the game. Like, how do you get that?
Well, I pay some of my homeboys to come, the ones that play overseas and stuff. I'll pay them for the week to come out, and like all they have to do is just guard me. So I'll put them up in a little spot wherever I'm at.
Oh yeah.
Pay them for a week, and then for those hours they have to just try. We play little games to 5, so if they get a certain amount of stops, they win. They ain't winning much, but
you just cooking their ass.
yeah. But like, so I'm playing like 300, 400, maybe 500 possessions of like, for me, live. So you were talking about a bag. I actually like basketball. I feel like I can have a live defender, and these dudes are playing overseas, so they like real play D1.
They're
like good player.
you.
Yeah, they trying to really get after it, you know,
Right.
because it's also like a job. I'm paying them to come out. Like I'm going hard. I need them to go hard. So that's been really good for me, having people just to like spar with.
Yeah.
So, and it's different when you have a live defender. As much as I could practice a move, my body movement might be different when I'm feeling the momentum of him and the contact and like the angles change slightly. You know what I mean? So I always do that now, like have people come and compete with me.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. The homies probably like that too.
Oh yeah, 'cause I mean I'm not going anywhere that ain't nice either. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Pull up. I just gotta get cooked by Payton by P Rabbit for a couple possessions. You bring him out here to Westland?
Well, some of them are like from around here too. So
okay, yeah.
But like when I'm in Florida, up in Boston, Cape Cod area, like any of those.
Oh yeah. That's
so I just
dope.
want to keep getting it in. So
right. Speaking of Boston, man, how you like it out there?
I love it. It's the best sports city in the country for sure to me.
A lot of history there.
Yeah. I mean, we got Celtics, Patriots, Red Sox, the hockey team, the Bruins. Like there's a lot of winning going on there.
Yeah, that's dope.
Which I like about that because the games are always sold out, but you know they're never. It's a hostile like environment as far as like they gonna let you know when you're playing bad, but if you're playing good, they're on you. But I want to be in an environment like that.
Right.
The pressure is always on, like to perform.
Make you better.
Yeah.
And you've spent your full professional career there so far. As what have you learned? I mean, we've talked a lot about kind of coming up, your early days and the type of mindset that it's taken to get to where you are now. But over your past 3 seasons, especially being in Boston, what have you learned about being a pro? It's about the league.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. I try to take things from different people I'm around. So
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to play with a lot of pros that have played for a long time, like Al Horford, Jeff Teague, like good vets, that show me different things, and even Jason and Jalen. But for me, I think I've finally figured out like what I want my like routine and like lifestyle kind of to be like.
Yeah.
As far as like how to take care of my body, like we're flying a lot more than probably football does or anything. Like it's every other day. So for me, like, making sure I'm getting my treatment in when I get in places, I'm getting my lift in on the like just that's the things I've learned. I've tried to change my diet a lot, cause I kind of got a sweet tooth, like growing up. Like I was just always eating cookies and stuff like that. This year I think I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna actually get a chef, so just to have somebody.
Oh, that's a good move.
Yeah, I think it's smart. Try to add a couple even more years to my career. Off that. Yeah. I don't know, just doing little things though to like keep your body fresh, because it is a grind.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of people on the outside don't kind of realize it. It's 82 regular season with a bunch of flying every other day, and then we playing hard-nosed 20 playoff games if we're going to the finals. So, like, that's 100 games in 8 months. Like, that's a lot.
Bro. It's a lot of games.
That's a lot of running and flying.
Yeah.
So, finding routines and what's going to work for yourself.
Yeah. What's that treatment that you like? Are you a needles? You an acupuncture guy?
See, I don't really see a lot of dudes do it in the league unless they do it on their own. Like, they don't do it at the facility necessarily.
Yeah.
For me, I like, like, obviously the stretching and stuff like that, normal stuff, manual, massaging. Try to get in the habit of, like, a cold tub routine.
Full body?
I try to. It's tough sometimes.
Lower half.
Yeah, lower half for sure. But, yeah, I'm going to get an infrared sauna.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to start like adding that into it, like at least 3 times a week. So little hacks, things that make the body feel fresh.
Yeah. I just started the cold tub routine myself last year.
Yeah.
Full body.
Really?
To the neck. 4 minutes every morning.
Also like the cold plunge type deal.
Cold plunge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have one at your crib?
At Nike.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So I've been doing it.
You do it before your workout?
Afterwards.
Oh, after. Okay.
I do it afterwards.
You only do it 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. I used to go hot tub and then cold, but now recently just been hopping in for
You notice a difference?
Cold. Yeah, like mentally and emotionally. The thing about the cold is like it's gonna be uncomfortable.
Oh, for sure.
Regardless of how often you get in.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first 2 minutes of that time is gonna just suck.
It's hell.
And to be able to like breathe through that. Understand that like these are just external stressors. This cold water that you feel on your skin is just like any like emotion that might be passing, any other type of stress that might be happening on your body, and to be able to like remain cool and calm through that experience, I think is helped me outside of the cold tub. You know what I mean? And so I think like obviously there's the physical benefits of helps with your like immune system and your nervous system, but for me it's been like that mental thing, and and I found my like mind running all over the place. Try to just kind of like breathe through it, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and like, slow everything down.
That's also another thing I'm adding is like having a mental coach this year. And we have one with the Celtics, but the breathing stuff, and I'm really starting to try to, I feel like as athletes we don't really. Like, our mind is probably the biggest strength, but we don't ever practice it. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm definitely try to dive in more and just make a routine of it. Yeah. I've never been big on, like, meditating and stuff, but I'm going to give it, like, a go this year and really try to.
Yeah. I think it has its bang for its buck. The difference is, like, you really have to be aware of it to, like, measure the progress. Mm-hmm. It's harder to measure the progress.
Oh, 100%.
Right, when you're lifting, when you're training your body.
You can
like
see.
when you go from, okay, I can lift 225 and now I can go 275. And you can see that jump with your eyes.
Yeah.
You getting shots up, it's like, okay, I've been shooting from, the elbow for the past 3 months. Now I'm making more than I was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
But like with your mind, you training your mind, it's harder to measure. Like, okay, I'm more mentally strong or tough or, or more calm, more collected than I was 3 months ago. Like, how do you measure that?
It is a lot difficult to measure, but I think being mentally strong is like you're just not riding the waves, though.
Oh, man.
Like
hell yeah.
with professional sports, it's like it can be such a highs, like great games. You know what I mean? You're like living this high, you feel on top of the world, and you play bad, and you like it's a long drop off, emotional roller coaster. You know what I mean? And through a whole season, that can really affect people.
No doubt.
And I've seen a lot of players kind of go through like depression, like they really go through it.
Yeah.
And I've even seen KD and them talk about it, and he was just like, I'm just trying to stay even keel. Like I'm just trying to stay here through the ups, downs. Like and I think that is being mentally strong. Like no matter what, I'm cooling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all part of the journey.
I think that's a misconception, though, because you think mentally strong, you think like, oh, I'm able to like get through these things, but it's more just like being able to stay relaxed.
Yeah.
When the times are bad, but then even when the times are great, just be able to stay even keel and
be in the moment,
stay present.
Yeah.
Not worrying about last game, not worrying about the next game, just being where your feet are. You're in your 4th year or so. Around my like 2nd, 3rd year in the league, I started integrating certain like parts of my routine to help just with like my mental and kind of emotional, just like that of being able to stay relaxed, waking up in the early in the morning, like making a coffee at my crib.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Like reading. Yeah. I had this book called the Bhagavad Gita, which I mention on this podcast every now and again, but a book that I come back to all the time. Really? It's like a spiritual, like Hindu book, but it just like puts me in a good spot.
Yeah.
So before I go into meetings where I'm going to get barked at by coaches, like let me take this morning to myself. That was like a big part of my routine when I was after my first couple of seasons in Houston. I felt like I really needed to integrate something for like my mind. And that ended up being it, making some coffee and reading the Bhagavad Gita in the morning.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've gotten into like being up early and drinking the coffee. It's just kind of like a routine I like now. It's calming before anybody wakes up. It's just like your time alone.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. Like, I mean, you get it. Like certain days, like, coach is about to say things I'm not trying to hear, Yeah. And I went through that. So for me, just being able to like, my lady, the mental coach that I work with, she was like, you get 5 fucks during the week. Like, what do you really care? Like, you going to let everything bother you? And this is when I wasn't playing last year. So, I was really going through it. But then I started talking. I'm like, yeah, it's out of my control. So, like, I start worrying about things that I really can control rather than things that I can't. Me not playing some certain games I can't control that. Like, I really don't have a choice. Like, I go in or not.
Yeah.
But it used to affect me outside of it. So I'd go home and I can't live a good life. So I feel like the balance of it helps.
Yeah. You get 5 fucks.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. One thing with the book, with the Bhagavad Gita, is similar to that, because I've gone through years where I'm not playing as much as I'd like to, or whatever. All these things that are out of control. But there's one part of the book that I take from is detaching yourself from the outcome, which essentially means that like lean into the process of the work that you're doing. The outcome at the end of the day, you can't control that.
Yeah.
All you can control is your day by day process and find fulfillment in that. The outcome is less important. Let the outcome happen, good or bad. Detach yourself from that. Lean into the process.
Yeah, I love that. You know who I think was best at that is Kobe, probably. He's talked about it. Like, I've just seen different clips of him saying like, would he change anything? And he's like, no, like it's part of the process. Like,
yeah,
I didn't necessarily care about the results. Failing succeeding, that doesn't really matter. It's about waking up every day and just like working just to be better.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you working like that, and you like, you're gonna get what you want if you like really dedicated to it. Like it's all gonna work out.
Yeah.
So
it'll work itself out.
Yeah.
During the bathroom break, we was talking about you being selected to the Team USA select team. So practicing against Team USA. You guys just had your first practices down in Vegas. How did you get chosen for that? And then what is the like structure? How does it work?
So they had the main USA team, and then they had like really like 10 of us. It was more younger NBA guys, but still like, you know, the best of the young ones. So I think it's just chosen from different coaches in the league. Like everybody got has a say. So I was definitely very fortunate, to get into that circle and be chosen for that, because it's, kind of is like a just nice realization that people like, crediting my they're seeing what I'm doing, and like so for me, I looked at it as an opportunity to go down there and compete and show more people maybe haven't seen it or get to see it yet on that stage, like what it really is for me.
Yeah.
Like, I think I belong with the best. So it was good to go down there and compete against them.
So do you guys go back?
Nah, they're done. It was only for like 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
So we just really like scrimmaging against them.
Okay.
And it's kind of just being part of the USA circle now.
The Olympics is next year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna go practice against them after next off season? Or
I mean, could.
Maybe.
They might do like even another younger group, or they might have us come back. Actually, I don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah. Huh.
Or some of us, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's one thing, man. Like I always had a dream of playing or competing in the Olympics, because my pops ran in the Olympic trials, and football don't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
You got a chance.
Yeah.
You got an opportunity one day.
Yeah. I've been offered by other countries to
really?
Naturalize me, and they pay me, but
what?
Yeah.
Who? How does that work?
South Sudan.
Like, South Sudan?
Yeah.
Trying to pick you up?
Yeah.
You said no?
I mean, I thought about it, but I don't know. I committed to the USA stuff.
Y'all might have got worked out there in South Sudan.
Yeah, I thought about it, though, because it'd be a good opportunity just to go play.
They would have naturalized you so you'd have become a citizen?
Yeah, like have...
You don't have to be related? Like, you don't have to have family?
I guess not. I was surprised, too, because I'm like, y'all going to have a white boy come and play? Can you imagine the memes on that? Like what the heck? He is South Sudan,
bro. How did they hit you up, bro? They hit you on IG?
Nah, they it was like they have their coaches are NBA coaches over there, so like they were trying. They were gonna pay me, set me up, but I was already committed to USA stuff. I really thought about it, but
I'd have been interested. Bro.
Yeah,
maybe 2028.
Possibly.
We'll revisit that.
Yeah.
See if South Sudan's still looking for a point guard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's other countries. A lot of countries over there are trying to get NBA dudes just to come play and do that. But
what about that Middle East stuff going on now with the soccer players and
well, if they paying NBA dudes like that, I'm for sure going.
Bro, I think it's next.
Oh, though, if you could how could you turn down that much money?
You can't.
Yeah, like.
I saw Bron and Draymond both tweeted about it.
Yeah, you can't turn that down.
Giannis. Giannis is talking about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if they ever end up doing that, it could be NBA gonna have to join with them. They got too much money over there.
A lot of money. They're trying to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah.
All that oil money. I mean, speaking of how the money is just changing in sports, the NIL in the college spaces with the student athletes now getting paid. High schoolers getting paid, especially in hoops. Some high schoolers not going to college and going to prep school or overseas. There's a lot of different things happening in the NBA. You had a more, I guess, traditional route, spending 4 years at Oregon. How do you think the NBA will continue to change, and what's your thoughts on just the evolution of it all?
Well, I don't know if the NBA would necessarily change, but I mean the college scene is definitely changing.
Yeah.
And I think we'll start to see I think it's kind of smart for college to start paying the athletes, because if they want to keep the talent level good there, they're going to have to, or these other leagues are going to just outpay them. And ultimately, kids aren't in a position a lot of the times to turn down that type of money.
Right.
You know, a lot of people need that right now. So I think it's a good thing for college. Like, you know, not every kid's going to be a pro athlete. You know, so for them to see this type of money in college is, can you imagine what we would have been like if we had so many? You would have gave me like $20K in college. I would have been living like a king on me tonight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's a good thing as far as the money is going. But then you talked about me being 4 years. I just wasn't ready to leave after my freshman year, and I got better every year. I could have left after my junior year. I had some guaranteed deals, but they were all in the second round. Yeah. And so I was like, you know, I thought obviously I would have made it, but I was like, I could go back, kill it, and then up my stock, which ultimately happened. So
right. Yeah, and I mean, you guys had some really great runs in your 4 years at Oregon too.
Yeah, we were loaded. A lot of pros.
Elite Eight for your freshman
Final
year?
Four.
Final Four.
Yeah.
And then you went.
Then Sweet 16 my junior year, and then my senior year, we were supposed to be like a 2 seed, but then COVID hit, so I didn't even get to play. I just started getting ready for the draft after that.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, man. I think it's a good thing too, though, that these student athletes are getting paid, and you know, especially it's the hoopers for me, that the way that they're showing on social media and creating this huge following and getting paid that way, and then going into college. It's such a different time, I think, than, you know, when I was in high school. And obviously for you, too, just cats are essentially like have fans as if they're a professional athlete in high school and getting paid then in college, damn near like they're pros.
Yeah. I would just encourage, though, the like young athletes and any ones I'm around is like, you know, the world is what can you do for me now? So, you know, you might have killed it in high school and like you're getting a little paycheck in college, but you got to remember, like, if you don't have a good year, that's go away. And this money doesn't last forever unless you're producing. So you got to keep working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you could live on that high and you look good in high school and go to college and don't. It's like college going to keep paying you the same.
Yeah.
So I just encourage kids, like, don't let that get to your head necessarily. Like, you keep grinding, because there is more money out there than it is in college and the pros. So it could really set your family up.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. You know, I think it'll separate a lot of the players who are really committed and, you know, trying to be the best that they can be over a certain length of time. You know, they see the money at the end of the road, and it's once they get that, maybe, you know, relax and settle down, take it easy. You can see, you know, the hunger, the differences in hunger once those kids are getting paid a little bit earlier. I think it'll weed some of those players out.
I think they're already kind of seeing that, honestly.
It'll make the really hungry cats who are really trying to make it, that separation will become clear sooner.
I think you see it in the league, too. Like, guys get their first paychecks, and that's how guys get weeded out. They start working because, you know, they became millionaires, and they're like, oh, I got it. But you know, the dudes that really love it, they stay in it, keep grinding, they keep getting better, and then eventually they get even more bigger paychecks.
Hell yeah. That's where Pepe at right now, man.
Exactly. I'm just on the grind.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
Off the court, I saw you recently got engaged. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Hell
yeah.
Yeah. That's dope, man.
Yeah. Ready for a different stage in my life now.
I hear that. You're building off the court. You're building on the court. You know, when you look at the near future over the next 5 years, what is your hope for what Payton's life looks like?
You want me to do an off the court and an on the court one, or like both of them?
Both of them.
You know, when people ask me that question, like about on the court, I don't really know. I just know I'm gonna put in all the work and everything into it to be the best player I can be, and whatever that looks like, I'll be okay with, because I did it my way, but also put in the work so I can live with it. You know, obviously I'd like to be on a team competing to win championships and being a crucial part of that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like any other player, but and then off the court, you know, I really just like lay low. I'll be with my fiance most of the time, but I think I'd like to, I got certain ideas, business ventures that I think I could eventually get into, and a lot of people want me to do certain things, but I want to start a business like kind of on my own, like, and not with like me jumping on board with somebody else. That's other people already started something and want me to come
just
in.
Investing in somebody else's concept.
Eventually I want to do something, and if it like fails, that's okay because I tried it.
Hell yeah.
And then I also want to do stuff. I think I want to help the Portland community, basketball community. I think it needs to grow a little bit, and like there's a lot of hoopers out here that like aren't noticed. So I don't know what that looks like, but like I think I have a part to play in that to help that grow and help other young kids who don't necessarily have the platform to help them get to college and stuff like that. So because there's a lot of talent out here, it just don't get noticed.
Right.
But like I said, I don't know what that looks like yet, but next 5 years, I think I'll have that figured out.
I think it's needed.
Yeah.
Too. I like that a lot. And you one of the few homegrown Portland, Oregon cats that are playing in the NBA right now.
And I think it's been different for me. Obviously, like I went to high school out here in the suburbs in Westland, but like I grew up younger, like playing for like ICP, like in the inner city. Yeah. So all of them, like, that's how they look at me. Like, that's how I started. Yeah. So I grew up in, like, Portland playing, and I was involved in all that. So for me, I have the ability to, like, feel like I'm connected to there, and, like, I have a part to play in helping that scene. Yeah. Rather than, somebody from that might have just grew up out here, didn't ever play in there. They might not feel connected. I have to feel a connection to those people and to helping that. Yeah. Portland claims you. Yeah, I'll let you know that. Yeah, they definitely do, and I I'm appreciative of that because that's really like where it started for me. Yeah, that's cool to hear. You know what type of business you want to start? Man, I've gotten into like thought of different things. Like I want to do stuff that like really is authentic to me. Yeah, I mean I've like started to do like little things with like hats and stuff like that. That's like small stuff, but like eventually, I think me and my mom will get into like flipping houses and doing stuff like that kind of stuff. But I want to do something like with a brand that has my logo type thing on it, but like not just some original shit. Yeah. Something that really different. Like is cool and like people really vibe with. Yeah. So I try to think of like things that like, what do I wear? Like, what do I like? And stuff like that. And I think I'll kind of narrow it down, but probably in the next year or two, you'll start to see stuff. No doubt. Yeah. I'm going to have to cop a hat, bro. Yeah. I'm a hat man myself. Yeah. I'm big on hats, so. I'm going to have to collab on some shit. That'd be dope. I'll do it. Let's do it. All right. Yeah. Say less, man. Yeah. Wait, don't you have a hat with the Portland gear, right? Yeah. Yeah. They gave it to me. I still have it. Oh, my dog. My dog. Yeah, that Deer 44. That was fun. Yeah. That was a fun collab. Yeah. Yeah, Marcus and them are good people over at Portland Gear. Good people. I got plans to continue to build the fashion scene. I like dressing. I like picking out clothes and designing clothes, and I've gotten way more into it this year. I think it's just been looking good, man. Yeah. I picked the IG. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah. It takes time though to build the wardrobe. It takes like time and kind of money a little bit. Like you got to get options. And I remember my first year or two in the league, I was throwing on some fits. I look back at it, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why the fuck did I put that on? Right. Oh, you was in Eugene before that, bro. That's like I was living that type of lifestyle. You were in Eugene. Yeah. So. It's funny though. It's like the evolution of it. Yeah. Gone better. I figured out what my style. Like everybody got a different style they can rock. Yeah. To their body type. I've kind of figured out what I like. You feel like you found it. You found like a little bit baggier jeans, like different jackets, stuff like. That's why I like cold weather because you can rock some shit. The layers. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I feel that. So. Where do you shop at? There's a couple places. I mean, there's places in Boston, like this place called Riccardi's, but they carry everything. So they carry all different types of brands. I'm obviously signed with Nike, so all my Nike shoes and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not really necessarily picky on like certain things. It's like I'll go in a store, and instead of like just picking from one store all the stuff, I'll go into one store and just like 1 to 2 things. If I like a jacket or a certain type of pants, like, then I grab them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you can go in any store and find something.
You shopping in person? You like to go shopping in person?
Yeah. When I have free time.
I'm an online man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight online. It's just so hard to find stuff that fit me. That fits me.
I actually shop online for like vintage stuff though.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You get your vintage online?
Yeah, my girl's good at it, like finding good stuff.
Nice.
She's obviously involved, so companies want her to look at a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, right.
So I like get the nice little varsity jackets and shit like that.
That's dope. There's a site called Essence.com.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know about Essence?
People talk about that.
Yeah, Essence is tight.
Yeah.
Because you can filter by size, you can filter by brand.
Yeah.
It helps for me. It just helps, just speed up the process.
Yeah.
Look for XXX, XXX, 38 size jeans. It's not easy out here for a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, but that is nice to have that though.
Hell yeah, man. Shit. Bro, I think we might get into some high quality questions now, man.
Okay.
All right. We're at the high quality questions segment of the show. Rapid fire, high quality questions for you.
Perfect.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Question number 1. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, man. Best piece of advice I've ever received. Honestly, I'd probably say something my dad said to me. He was like, if your life ain't straight off the court, then you're never going to be as best as you can be on the court. So I always took that in as like, I always got to handle my business off the court, as far as like when I was going through school, or we all go through it, like different girl things or whatever. So I always tried to make sure things was straight. And he was right though, because sometimes my worst stretches is because my head was messed up off the court, and like my priorities were changed or whatever. So I always like that always rings in my head, and him saying that, like, things going wrong, then it ain't gonna be straight on the court either.
That's real. Shout out to Pops. That's some good advice. What's an album you can listen to with no skips?
No skips. I ain't gonna lie, I actually like the Morgan Wallen album.
The who?
Morgan Wallen. You know what that is?
Nah, who's Morgan Wallen?
Oh, you don't listen to country like that, huh?
Nah.
Y'all don't listen to country?
Which album?
It's his newest one.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, I could go with some probably rap ones, but like...
Nah, hey, I can listen to some country now.
Yeah.
I just don't know Morgan Wallen.
Oh, no, you gotta put Morgan. He's the next big thing.
He's like that?
Yeah, he's like that.
I can't even name any country artists for you, but I do like the vibe.
Yeah.
Summertime, you got, you have some whiskey in your hand, chilling.
Yeah. No, so for me, like, rap is like something I listen to in the beginning of the days to get my mind like, ready. But like after I'm done working out and stuff, I need like things like, and they've done studies like music can help you like calm and like come back to like a recovery state. And so country kind of, I started noticing it really does it to me, because I'm just like kind of mellowing out when I hear it. And it's just like storytellings and stuff. But he's a little bit better. That's why I think you like him though. He kind of has like a little bit of rap to him, the way his lyrics are. Like,
oh yeah?
Yeah, it's nice. He really be telling like stories, but just in a country way, but more of a newer wave though.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fire.
Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
His most recent album. What's it called?
I couldn't even tell you, but I know the picture of it. But
yeah, you can see it in your mind, right? This is a good one for you. What was your favorite place to shop in middle school?
I didn't even shop in middle school. I just let my dad get my shit. Middle school to shop. I mean, probably Nike.
Yeah, Nike outlet.
Yeah.
If you could take a shot with any athlete or celebrity, who would it be, and what would it be a shot of?
Well, definitely like tequila.
What type of tequila?
Probably like 42.
Talk to him.
Or I've had is it Encino? It's like Michael Jordan's. Our owner owns part of it too.
Yeah.
And he gave us all a bottle one time, and I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's fire.
Damn,
what's it called? It's not Encino. What's it called? It's the tall bottle.
Yeah,
it has like the smooth grooves on it. It starts with a C. Cincoro.
Yeah.
Cincoro. Fire.
Yeah.
Who'd you take that shot of Cincoro with?
I mean, my favorite player growing up was D Wade.
Yeah.
So like, that's kind of who I idolized growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I wore number 3 in high school, college, and everything really because of him.
Yeah.
So probably him.
Shout out D-Wade. Just went in the Hall of Fame, right?
Exactly.
With the sleeveless dress shirt, too.
Yeah.
Swag.
Yeah.
You got swag.
He do got swag.
All right. What's your biggest basketball ick?
First media day. I hate it. You sit there like 8 hours going through different stations, doing things you really don't want to do. And I just hate it. And I sometimes I hate like the first day of practice because you just going over little things. But I'm like, I just want to get to scrimmaging and let's get to playing type stuff. But you have to do those little things like introducing things, and that's
day one install.
Yeah, and I hate that.
Day one install.
But you got to do it. But
got to go through it. Media day. You don't like media day, huh?
No, I don't like media day.
I kind of like media day.
Really? How long is your guys' media day?
It's not 8 hours.
Yeah, so ours is long.
Yeah.
And you're answering, we got a lot of interviews and you're talking to people that
okay. See, for us, it's all it would be internal organization stuff. So it's your team picture.
Oh, no, you got to do press conferences. You got to do.
Yeah. No, we don't got to do all that.
It's a lot. And so by the end of the day, you're just so tired, and then you got to answer questions that you've answered 1,000 times, and it's just certain things you don't want to do.
Payton, what are you getting better on this year?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And for us, last year, we was obviously a lot was going on with our team.
Yeah. Media day.
Yeah.
Biggest basketball hit. Well, hey, man, those were our high-quality questions.
I appreciate it. I hope I answered them pretty good.
You did your thing. Hey, man, Payton Pritchard.
Oh, man, thank you.
I appreciate you coming on B-Scar TV.
Definitely.
Congratulations on all your success on the court, your recent engagement off the court. Been watching you since you was a young pup with the goggles on and the buzz cut.
Yeah.
And I look forward to continue watching you and to continue success in the NBA and beyond.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And there you have it, folks. Another episode of B-Scar TV. We had our very special guest, Payton Pritchard, a.k.a. Pepe, a.k.a. P. Rabbit, hollering at us today. And please leave us some feedback, drop a comment, hit us with a like. Constructive criticism. We're always trying to get better because the pursuit of high-quality content is an endless pursuit. I'm Brennan Scarlett, your host. Peace. This episode of B-Scar TV has been brought to you by Scarlett Creative. For the full-length video episode and more content, find us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at B-Scar TV. And please, leave us a review. Drop a comment. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? Who do you want to hear from? We would love to hear from you. This is your host, with the most, Brennan Scarlett, signing off. Peace.